Hey, it's Mike Fardy at the beginning of the episode. Weird, gross, get him out of here. Get him out of here. In a second. Just jumping in real quick to give out a gifted inspiration. This inspiration comes from Mike Pollard. Thank you so much for listening, Mike, and thanks for sending along this inspiration. He's gifting the inspiration to Bido, and after consulting with Bido is going to gift that inspiration to Vaelin, the first of his new bosses. So thanks again to Mike for sending that in, and thank you to everybody else who's been sharing the show around and sending in their gifts of inspiration. That's all for now. Back to the show.
Previously on Wonders and Blunders.
Diglin! Oh. You were looking for Diglin!
Yeah.
Diglin was here. She was, they locked her up down there.
The guards on the elevator, are they, vampires too?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they definitely were.
Let us go destroy them immediately.
You hear heavy trudging footsteps and rattling chains coming towards you.
Whoa.
A Yeti and the two guards walk out past you. Roll initiative. From up on the roof, you do see another figure coming up over the cliffside. You see like a figure sort of bring their arm up and then pull themselves up.
There's another hooded figure that way to cliffside.
And they kind of like...
I see you. You cannot hide from Sindor's gaze.
It's just like a house on fire. This little kid standing or like terrifying. These big like reflective eyes in the firelight.
So I want to try and use my new silver dagger.
Oh yeah.
And just make a little stab.
Yeah, it's 10 feet wide, so you can stand 5 to a side because Star ran out.
Gotta get 15.
Up. That's a hit. That's his exact AC.
And that is a 3 damage. Yeah. Shit. Take that. How about you?
Yeah, so he catches this dagger before it goes into his heart, but this time you see like blood come out from his palm.
Just like uneasily trying to wrestle with it.
Watch out there.
Cara.
Hit them all with a moon.
Every last one of them. No, I am going to cast Thorn Whip on this vampire on the ground.
On the ground? Sure.
Yeah. Do we have disadvantage because he's prone?
Yes, because it's a ranged attack.
Okay. The disadvantage is a crit fail, which I get to re-roll, right?
I guess.
It's 3. It's not gonna hit.
Okay.
So, that happens.
All this just like...
Yeah. He just falls on the ground and everyone dog piles him, just stabbing and biting him, whipping him from afar.
You're all too close to him for me to ram him with my fireball.
Oh, yeah.
Debatable. See who of us can do cartwheels out of the way.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna ram him with my fireball.
Well, we asked for it.
Ram him. Yeah. Lizard mouth. So he makes
we made an order and she's
with
delivering.
Disadvantage.
And we're all fine?
I wish I could roll all the time, like I roll on saving throws to avoid damage. He rolled a 20 and a 15.
Well,
6. So
he
21.
takes half. So that's 9. Half of 9 is 4.
4. Okay. So yeah, that ball of fire like rolls on top of him, I guess. Like just in the middle of all of you. Just starts hopping up and down. Yeah. And he is going to like roll out from under it, stand up and kind of like take a breath, and you see him like raise his claws again. And Vaelin, you see that cut you just made across his hand seal up. And he is going to look around at this group.
A motley crew, if you will.
This motley crew that is completely surrounding him, beating the shit out of him in an alleyway. And he's going to try to run up the wall. So attack, and no, Star ran away.
I'm still.
But Rowan's still there.
I missed with the first one, but I'm going to use a luck point to roll again.
Okay.
So I reach. We'll see what happens first. I'll roll. So it'll be a 16. Second one hits.
16 hits, yeah.
So I reach out with the knife and like try to kind of like trip up over Bree's attack and like catch it in the other hand and like come up underneath.
Okay.
For 6.
Got an 18 to hit.
That's a hit.
And did 13 damage.
Jeez.
Max rolling.
Whoa. 13, okay. And Rowan?
Yeah, I didn't expect him to get up, I guess, and I kind of like, and I try to get my dagger or my short sword in, but I miss.
Okay. So he like quickly just runs straight up the wall and like hops up on top of the house and keeps going. Keeps running.
Game, Rowan.
As like like daggers and swords and stuff come up after him and fire raises up out of the ground.
How far did he get? Because he had to get up from prone as well.
He got up from prone, so he lost 15 feet. So then he used the rest of that movement to get onto the top, and then he ran 30 feet away. But I guess it would actually only be 20 feet because he doesn't have enough to jump to the next. So he runs to the end of the... You hear him like footsteps like... as he like comes to a stop at the edge of the house. Then you see this robed figure look back down behind them and reach down and pull another figure up from behind them. Star.
Does lightning strike behind them?
Yes.
I have a climb speed. Can I just climb up the side of the wall behind him?
Fuck yeah, you can.
I'm doing that.
All right.
Yeah, so Star, like, on all fours, like, just, like, runs up the side of the wall.
Cool. So
and then I'm going to pull out both my rapiers again when I get to the top of the wall, and...
Okay.
And then I'm one-on-one, so I'm going to go for the attack. Definitely a miss, like 11.
Yeah, that's a miss.
Okay, then my second attack with my other rapier. Oh, this is going to hit 20.
20's a hit.
And I get sneak attack, but no bonus because it's my offhand. 16.
Yeah, so the two of you are up on this, and you're sort of stabbing at him, and you've got him on the back foot. He's sort of teetering at the edge of the house, as behind you the house is like engulfed in flame, as you both like have this amazing rooftop fight.
So I used 30 feet to get to him. I'm gonna feline agility and run back down the wall, like
just where you started.
Not where I started. Like I'm assuming like down the alleyway that he's going to jump over.
Oh,
you know what
okay.
I mean?
Yeah. So
because I don't want to be next to him at the end of my turn.
Okay, cool. So you kind of like stab at him a bunch of times, and when you see you have him on the back foot, you're able to sort of like get in under his guard and spin around him, and then when he like turns around, you're gone. And are just like down below in the alleyway.
Yeah.
So you kind of like grab in with your claws and just like slide down. That's dope.
Yeah. Like
Rowan.
I'm imagining like a like after that sort of brief melee, Star like turned it into a cartwheel and grabbed like one hand on the edge and then like scraped down the wall.
Amazing.
Cool. Well, fine. I guess this is going to be a rooftop thing, and that's all right. And I'll try to climb up the side of the house.
Okay, so do a strength check.
Nat 20.
Okay, yeah.
Oh.
So you get up there. That's your movement.
Sweet. Okay. And I'll use bonus action to do... Well, I guess what do I see up there?
So you see the vampire standing at the edge, just kind of like confused and like holding a grazing wound across his ribs.
Mm-hmm. Do I see any of the other figures? That the owl guy?
Yes, you do, because you have insane passive perception.
Yeah.
So you see these two figures coming up over the cliff, and you see the other vampire who has dropped down, and you can see them running towards the castle.
I take that in real quick, and then so I'll take out my crossbow that has I think I still have 3 silver bolts left.
Yep.
And I'm going to just like and just kind of like shoot with the crossbow.
Some of the cinders and smoke like blow up under your blueberry bush and rustle it.
Yeah.
In a threatening way.
And a deliciously threatening way.
Yeah.
Blueberries catch fire like really well. I don't know if you guys know that, but they're just so blue and plump, and they're great. But anyway, I'll do roll for attack. Sweet. So that's an unnatural 20, a dirty old 20.
Dirty 20. That's a hit.
So just 10 damage.
10?
Yeah.
How do you want to take
sweet.
this guy out?
Whoa!
It gets them just a thunk right in the chest, and they like kind of, and then maybe tilt off the roof.
Yeah, and just like the cape billows up behind them, and Star on the ground, you sort of just quickly sidestep as he just clumps into the ground in a perfect pose, holding this silver bolt coming out of their chest.
Yeah, and I'll mumble and be like, well, that's the thing. Teak would have dodged that. And I'll pluck a blueberry off and munch it.
Is your cowboy cigarette blueberries?
I guess it is now, yeah. Yeah, I guess it is now.
Amazing. Then you see from up there, you see that vampire make another run towards the castle.
How far away? Just curiosity.
They are now like almost 200 feet away.
Yeah. Okay. I'll shout if I can. I'll shout out that our other friend is running straight for the castle.
Okay.
Sound
And
like
you
a
see those two figures look up and sort of like clock you and then look in that direction. Bree.
I guess
Ben,
I
you're on deck.
run full speed towards the castle.
Okay. Yep. So you get a little bit past the inn and you can see them and they've sort of come right up to the river. And they see the river running and you can see that they've kind of like paused next to the running water. So you are like 100 feet away from them, but they're going to have to run towards you to get to the bridge.
Okay.
Yeah, the river's 20 feet across. I'll decide what they're going to do when it's their turn. Ben.
Also, run after them, jump off the roof, and full sprint would be 80 feet.
Yeah.
and it just as it jumps,
You cannot flee, abomination.
Okay. Vaelin.
Wait for me! And run 60 feet.
Cara.
I'm gonna take off towards the inn. I'm gonna drag my ball of fire behind me.
Okay. They're all in one place. Now's the time.
really dark about Cara.
So I'm gonna call in the door. Better get fire brigade started, and then I'm gonna run away.
Okay.
Software pod.
Following her.
Yeah. they like people peek out the window just as the ball like slowly rolls up to the window. They can't quite get past the inn. And those two figures are going to run up, and you hear one of them call out, "Get that thing in the water!" And you see these two silver longswords get pulled out from under the cloaks.
Cool.
Star.
Gonna tear 90 feet out of that alleyway, I think.
Okay, so you're
running. That's 30 feet of movement, action dash, and bonus action dash.
so you're able to get 70 feet away from the vampire.
Okay.
You don't have a feline agility to Tokyo Drift in there?
Oh, I used it to climb down the side of the. Yeah.
Rowan.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I guess I'll go to like chase and be like, oh wait, oh, okay, and I'll kind of like slowly sort of climb off the edge of the house.
Yeah. So to get down, sort
yeah.
of safely, you'll have to just use your movement to get down.
Yeah.
But you could dash 30 feet.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I'll dash.
Yeah. Okay. Or yeah, you could dash 60 feet. You could use your bonus and your.
Oh, I'm thinking it used an action to get down from the house. So I'll just go to 60 feet.
Yeah. Okay. The vampire, like, looks down at all of you, which are kind of crowding the area. Like, clocks the bridge, sees these two silver longswords come out, and I guess like would have looked back and seen his friend get shot off the roof, and he like takes 2 steps back and he's like and runs. He's going to try to jump the river.
This is a good way for the last vampire in the town to go out, though.
He gets +6. That's real bad. He falls in the river. So he just runs and goes on the other side on a big rock. And then flops backwards into the water.
I kind of want to imagine him like running up to the edge, going to like take his last step as he leaps, and like it's muddy because
Yeah. So he just slides right into the river. No jump, just slides right in. And is immediately just like getting swept down the river. Ends his turn in running water. 20 damage. Then it is Bree. There is a vampire getting rushed down the river towards you.
Then I think I would dive into the water, try to like hold my position there, and prep an action to make a grapple as it comes close.
Okay, you've got a swim speed.
Yeah.
And you're not moving up towards him, you're just waiting?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's fine. The river, it's like fast, but it's not as crazy as it was the first time you surfed it down.
Okay.
So you're like moving against it would be like difficult terrain swimming, but just to sort of hold your position, you're able to just sort of wait for him to come down.
Swirling back and forth like a crocodile just waiting for the prey.
Yeah.
Mouth wide open.
Okay, Ben.
Die, monster! And runs up to the edge of the water. It can make a why not wisdom save.
Come on, baby. Don't let me down. 16 plus 0 is still 16.
Yeah, there's just like a little bling, like a wet bell noise, and it goes, "You're still wet."
Vaelin.
I can see him, right?
Yep.
The orb comes out, and 3 magical darts shoot out towards him for 8, 9 damage.
9. Okay.
3 magical darts.
Cara.
Yeah, does he take damage from having to count
Them as they go.
I'm going to run towards where the vampire is in the water, or where Bree is, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to dash also, and I'm going to drag my fireball again. 30 feet
Another
behind
30
me.
feet. Yeah, it lumbers past the inn.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then you see those 2 figures still dashing towards you, and they're like, "Whoa, good work! You did that immediately." And you also see Cara as you're like running past the inn. You like look back to call your ball of fire towards you, and you see some people like make their way out and see the burning house, and you see Light and Sky
boarding up the window.
yeah, they like call back inside, and you can hear some movement in there. Star.
Seeing that the vampire went down the river, I'm just going to follow everybody else down the river to try and keep pace with him.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just do the same thing as last turn then. Just run, dash, bonus action dash.
Yeah, so you're sort of running next to this vampire as it like sputters in the water trying to gain its footing. Rowan.
I only moved 60 feet, so I will move my full movement and bonus action dash another 60 feet. Yeah, load up a silver bow and take some aim, and it goes wide in the water.
Okay. He's like out of control, although he's also like moving quick in the water. Yeah,
makes sense.
Okay. He gets caught up in the torrent, and he's about to start swimming, but he enters your range, Bree, so you can do your crocodile action.
He can oppose it.
Oppose it?
11 to beat.
7 plus 10. Ooh.
Plus 10?
No, 10 total.
Oh, yeah, then he's grappled.
Okay.
I was like, he gets plus 10?
Crocodile roll.
Yeah. Death roll.
Time to do 20 damage a turn.
Drag
So
him
he
to the bottom.
starts like reaching towards the shore to try to get out, and is instead just like grappled up and starts getting swung around in the water. So he can still attack you.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's going to.
I'm going to go home and watch Lake Placid. after
He can
this.
also, I guess, use an action to try and break free from the grapple.
Yeah, so that's what he's going to do then. He's going to try to break out. That's a 20.
That's a critical failure.
Ooh.
He tastes awful.
Okay, so he breaks out of the grapple.
I guess basically he tries to get out of the water, and I just like pull him back in.
Yeah,
Like a gazelle.
he's on his way out. You grab him, pull him back in, and he gets pulled another 30 feet down the river, taking another 20 points of damage. Embry, it's your turn.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna charge at it and go for the stab.
All right,
That's a big miss.
big miss.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was looking to see if you had any rages left.
Yeah, you swim down, and yeah, it's just keeps
I just,
disappearing
I
below
hate
the
this
water.
sword. It's really cumbersome.
Yeah. Okay, Ben.
Yeah, seeing it keep going and that like it's not dead yet. The creature is like now the laughter is turned to concern. And chases after it, and it can make another wisdom save.
Yes, it can. Oh, I dropped it. Fuck! It's a 2.
You didn't get that spin on the wrist.
Yeah, I didn't get my normal.
Oh. 5 necrotic damage. Might
5
might
necrotic
heal
damage.
It. I don't know.
Which does half damage, which is 3.
Mhm.
How would you like to play?
We can't get a kill.
All these
2 HP.
Sonic boom.
I was
in the
really
water.
hoping you were going to do another 1 to him. So it like gets pulled back into the water, starts floundering down. You see it like surface, and like half its face is burned off. It's like all of its skin is turning to vapor.
You have used time that is not yours for too long. And there's a massive ringing that sort of like knocks the water around it away, and it like crumples in on itself.
Cool. and then you see it just kind of like this like husk sort of fall to the riverbed for a moment as the water just on all sides just splashes up around it. And then again, you see it just, its body gets jettisoned off the waterfall and then turns to dust in the air.
Yeah, and then the creature just like, the owl creature closes his eyes and it's just like, excellent.
And these, so these two figures are running up to you.
Greetings.
Star spins around with his rapiers at the ready, looking directly at both of them.
Okay, yeah, so they have their, they have these long swords out, and you recognize the long sword having investigated the first one that you found in the cave. So you can see that these are more Lightbringer swords.
Okay.
And they come up and sort of see you with your weapons at the ready, and they sort of like put their hands back, and they're like, "Oh, we mean you no harm. Are there more? Are there any more?"
I think we left one in the alley.
And at that he sheaths his rapiers and is like, "No. To be honest, these two surprised us as we were leaving. We thought the one that we killed in the castle was the only one, and then these two were guards, were also apparently vampires. But I don't know if there are any more."
Yeah, I think as far as we know, that's it. We've been around a little bit doing some exploration. We're looking for a friend of ours, but that's the only ones we've seen.
The one with the bolt
And
in
who are
its
you?
chest.
We're with the Rising Sun. We got sent here by a dwarf. She said this place was, I think she said, filled to the brim with vampires.
Oh, well, wait now. Maybe you can help us too. Is this dwarf named Diglin by any chance?
Didn't catch her name. She was not very forthright with information.
Yeah, that sounds like how Bridget described Dig.
We did burn down the library earlier today, and I think most of the vampires were in there.
So you see that one of them puts down their hood, and you see this sort of like brown-haired human man, looks like probably early 20s. And then the other one puts their hood down, and you see this green tiefling woman, and she has horns that kind of like come and like bend down and almost meet at her chin. He nods at her and says, Go check out the library. We'll do a sweep before we mark this place cleansed."
Did that dwarf woman give you any indication as to her next plans?
No, she was very specific about what our plans should be. We sent a scout, and then when we didn't hear back, we assumed the worst.
I fear your
So you
scout.
received this message when?
Just a few days ago.
I fear that your scout may have met the an untimely death to a yeti.
Oh, yeah, in the cave. That's right.
Yeti.
I think about this point, Bree washes up on shore and starts trudging up to the group with the sword as well.
Okay. So I think, yeah, the tiefling is like walking past the river, and you sort of like slurp out, and she like looks and then sort of calms herself and gives you a nod.
I just kind of give her like a chomp of my mouth, like a friendly like.
You know.
Like a sleepy chomp.
Yeah.
And she says, "Good afternoon," and makes her way.
Yeah, and the owl creature trots up. Razizia, good fine work in the river.
Thank you, Splendor.
I am not Sindor.
What should we call you?
I am called Hoom.
Whom?
Hoom.
Who?
That is I.
What sort of being are you?
I am a Tola of Sindor. I am an agent of his will upon creation.
And so does you take over Ben?
He is a conduit.
You are not doing good at protecting young Ben.
No, you are not.
Neither are you.
Well,
We've done all right for ourselves. He's still in one piece.
Even though he goes charging off a little bit without us.
yeah, he's an intrepid little kid, isn't he? But something I'm worried about, Mr. Hoom, I suppose. What happens to Benjamin when you're here?
He exists in a purgatory,
A purgatory. Now, talk to
a
me.
place out of time.
And Rowan's eyes go a little narrowed at this. It's like, so is he in some kind of trouble then? Is this causing him?
He is safe. His soul is not inhabiting his corporeal form.
So he's somewhat comfortable and okay.
From my understanding, it is a place of not of comfort, not of discomfort.
Oh, okay. I think I see what you're saying here. So we don't need to be worried about Benjamin when you're when you're with.
And its eyes kind of dull, and they go like blank, and then the eyes glow again. It says, "That is not for me to tell you."
I am more worried when he is here.
Yeah.
When Ben is here, he is at least by our side, not running off to meet vampires on his own.
I'm sorry.
Bree's
I was
standing
here.
like arms akimbo on her hips.
yeah. Rowan's still giving this guy a hard look.
I am here to exert Sindor's will. These creatures are abominations on time and creation.
Well, that's
I
fine.
was finished drinking my juice and felt the time for action was now. Was then.
Well, perhaps in the future, you could confirm that you have some backup.
Yeah, I'm not sure how Sindor
The
does
little
this.
one speaks wise.
Rowan, over Ben's shoulder, you can see a bunch of the people have come out of the tavern and kind of led by Light and Sky. They have the juice trough, and they're all using their mugs and throwing juice on the flaming house.
Do they look like they're making any progress with this?
They're very weak,
yeah.
so they're like struggling to hold even their tankards.
Okay.
Like they're falling down and stuff like that. And Light and Sky are both just like, "What are you? Just fill it with water!" Like screaming at them.
Yeah. Well, Sindor, I think this is a conversation that we should have again. But in the meantime, maybe we should help these fine folks save their town.
Yes.
I will go to the library with the... What is your name?
Oh, while we're doing introductions, yes.
Oh, so the tiefling left.
Oh.
And just went to was not listening to any of this.
She's gone.
But the other guy, roll some names.
Yes.
Yeah.
On the
Cheddar.
For the listeners, he's rolling on a random table of syllables to create a fantasy name.
Got almost the highest name you can get. I'm Mazenor
Mazin. Oh, all right.
of the Rising Sun.
Well, this, as we've just discovered, is Hoom. I am Vaelin Darius Iron Rutherford IV. We have Brazicia. We have Cara and Rowan and Star.
Oh, my brother Teak.
Oh, yes, sorry. His brother, T.
And if you'll excuse me, I think I'm going to go help my family.
Yeah,
And then
I'm
Star
going to go
just,
put
runs
out some
off,
fire.
It's like, you don't have to yell at them. What are you doing? I mean, just help.
And they're like, "Do you see what they're doing? Like, look at this."
They've been eaten by vampires.
That's not how you direct a fire line!
Whom chases after the, I was going to say Twilight. Tiefling.
Tiefling, yeah.
Star Wars on the brain.
Yeah, okay, so
And I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on myself.
So Mazanor says, "Yes, if you should see to that. I'm going to. This was the lair, I assume." And he points back up at the castle where lightning strikes behind it and bats fly out of the belfry.
Yes, the vampire maintained a crypt in the basement.
Very good. You
Talk.
all defeated it?
Yeah, he's pinned in place.
Yes, with some help from two locals who had been surviving just under its nose.
Counterfeiting vampirehood themselves.
That's a risky strategy.
Very clever, if you ask me.
Yeah. Well, I'm just gonna go check and make sure that not to doubt you or anything, but due diligence and all that.
You know more than we
handily
do.
Certainly,
handled-
you're the expert.
Yes, of course. That you handily handled this thrall. Great feat in itself. So
Wait, you said you know Diglin. Do you know where she is?
we saw her just east of here.
Can you show on map?
Yeah, and he points to the forested area.
We're going to the Rotten Piss.
Oh no, it's not the Rotten Pines. He points a bit south of that, like very close to the lake that the Sunken Church is in.
The frozen church.
The frozen church, yeah.
Can't wait to ignore that plot.
He says, yeah, we saw her on the road. She had sent word. We received a message, and when we got to this area after not hearing from our scout, she directed us in the right way.
And you say this was a few days ago.
A few days ago, yeah.
So she's traveling on her own. She's well ahead of us now.
Well, maybe we can still catch up, especially if she has something to do.
Yeah, nothing for us to do but try.
How's the fire doing?
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of people like running, but you actually see Light and Sky, probably led by Star, bringing the trough that the juice was in over to the river.
Okay.
And they sort of scoop it out, and then, yeah, they all run it back. And you can see, like, the townsfolk are kind of weakly stumbling after them, like, trying to help, but they can barely stand up.
They have it under control.
Just kind of falling into
Is not our problem.
The fire is just on one of the buildings,
It's
right?
just on one of the houses, yeah.
Okay. And
Okay, cool.
do I see signs that it's spreading already? Like starting to, or like chances
no,
are?
like everything is pretty like snow.
Okay.
This isn't like a tinderbox. A lot of the houses are like mostly stone.
Okay.
It's only because this fireball was inside of it that it got all the furniture and stuff.
We kept it away from the oily rag store.
Yeah.
Yeah, the oily rag store.
You got to protect commerce.
That's a major
big industry.
export.
That's over on 4th Street.
It's on Corp Street, actually.
Yeah.
Ben or Hoom, you catch up with this tiefling, and while you actually see, like, as you pass by the fire brigade, you see, like, Yuri jogging past, and Yuri is, like, running back towards the tavern, and then he, like, skids to a stop as he sees you walking by, and he's like, oh, geez. Oh, you. Hey, hold on now. What are you doing here?
I am destroying vampires.
We talked about this. Hey, we talked about this. What did we say?
What did we talk of?
We talked of you not just taking Ben whenever you want.
He is an avatar of Sindor's will.
Yeah, well, who are you?
Whom?
I know your name. I'm asking, like, you're some. He's the avatar. What are you doing here then?
I am a
He's got
Tola
the
of
responsibility.
Sindor. I am exerting his will on creation and time.
Give him back.
I'm not done.
Why aren't you done? Vampire's gone.
There may be more.
Return
You are all
that
sitting
avatar
drinking
to me.
juice. I will. And you see, like, it's fighting. It's like, no. Our time is not done.
I'm gonna find some sort of shrine to that god, and I'm gonna send him a strongly worded prayer.
You can tell the boy. And continues marching on.
And he kind of like watches you go, and you can see him like fuming, but then looks back at the fire and runs back into the tavern. So you catch up with the tiefling. So you, Star, I guess you rejoin the group.
Yep.
Yeah. So he sort of turns to head up to the castle. Well done. If you're ever looking for work, if you head to any of the major cities, seek out the Rising Suns while you're there. We could always use a competent boost in our numbers.
Well, it seems we may be cut out for this sort of endeavor, so perhaps we may take you up on that offer. Although we do have other concerns.
Yes, we've got some other tasks to be focusing on.
What is your knowledge of local hag activity?
I do know these woods show a lot of the signs of hag inhabitants. It's not our main gig, but you know, when evil comes a knocking.
Well, you may be interested in some of the intelligence we've gathered on recent hag sightings, I suppose. That this is what Bridget has provided us, and I'll show him the map and show him the locations that have been like highlighted as having like potential
So
hag
he
lairs.
quickly takes out a book, and you can see he has his own map of these areas, and he quickly sketches down those layers. And
Does he have any cool information on his map that we don't have on ours?
make a perception check. He's not actively showing you the map.
15.
15? Yeah, you see he has a couple of notes written around Hamel Hall. You can see that he has information about new recruits in Mox the Rain.
What's this here about Hamel Hall?
And he like quickly takes the book back after seeing you sort of peeking at it, and he says, "Just we got word that there was some potential brewings of a vampire activity in Hamel Hall. Nothing confirmed, nothing that we can
Oh.
act on.
Okay, so we do not go near Handel Hall. We have had enough for vampires for one day.
Well, so this is why this information is not public, because it is not confirmed. We're not throwing anybody into a panic. We're not saying that there are vampires there, just that there have been suspicious reports.
Well, we've gotten fairly adept at rooting them out. Perhaps we should take a look.
Yeah, we do seem rather capable of this. I mean, it wasn't what we set out to do, but
Why?
it's knocking on the door.
Why do you keep running into danger?
What other direction is there to run?
Well, we have artifacts to find. We have job to do.
Now, Ms. Enor, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, now, you said you're part of the Lightbringers, is that right?
the Rising Suns.
Rising Sun, right. So the Lightbringers is a name. Does that ring a bell with you?
Our swords, that's usually the blade that's gifted to us on entry.
Oh, okay. So that's the connection. Gotcha. And so where would you have gotten your... I guess what I'm trying to say is, where do you hail from?
Me, originally, I'm from quite far away.
You seem a little nervous. Are you okay?
I just, my nerves were up on the way up. It's never easy facing down something as powerful as what was here, what was holding this town. One of my first hunts.
Oh, you're fresh to the order. Is that it?
Fairly fresh, yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
How do you live to be so old without hunting?
Well, I see what you're thinking. I'm thinking vampire hunting specifically.
What's your companion's name?
Lilana.
And these swords, they belong to you, yes?
Yes.
It is not mine to have. And Bree hands the sword out.
And he sort of like takes it, and you see like a sort of sad look come over him, and he kind of takes it in shaking hands and says, "I'll see this returned to the
Is that
guild."
that's from your scout? Is
He was eaten by Yeti.
Yes, you mentioned.
We ate Yeti. We have some of Pants.
Well,
Now, those are for Ben.
It's true.
I'm glad to hear he was at least avenged.
At that talk, like Star kind of puffs his chest up and looks kind of proud.
I'm not sure if this is helpful, but his bones are in a cave along the river south of here.
That is good to know. We could at least give him a burial.
Yeah.
Maybe we could even bring him back. I wonder if a bone would work. And he kind of like, you see him
bone?
like thinking, yeah.
A bone would work for what?
Well, there are some fairly powerful clerics at the head of the Rising Suns.
I see.
It's possible that they might be able to bring him back.
Have you heard of a creature by the name of Lily?
Lilia, you said?
Yeah.
No. A vampire?
A hag, we believe.
Yeah.
Very vampire-y name. Heard of several vampires named Lilia. But no. Again, we don't deal much with hags. The only time we've dealt with them is improper reports.
Improper report?
People thinking that they're dealing with a vampire and calling us in, and
You just leave it there then?
depending, sometimes we would.
Oh, is that so?
Why such a narrow focus?
There's a lot of work to be done. Vampires are a spreading menace, as you can see here, and not just anyone has the ability to cleanse them.
And did your order have knowledge of the vampire presence here before recently?
Not until this message was sent to us.
I find it difficult to imagine it taking 5 years for news of their infiltration to spread.
I appreciate the thought. We already got an earful on this from your friend. We are, I do say, if you're looking for work, we're spread thin.
Well, maybe we should have a look and compare information on your map there. You could give us those notes, and if we're coming through, we could do a little bit of your work.
I'm not able to share that information with you.
Would your companion have that authority?
What's one vampire hunter to another? You know what I mean?
Well,
I'm gonna try and persuade him.
If you join, you can try to persuade. Yeah.
Can I help him somehow?
You can do it with
I got-
advantage because all of you are trying to convince him.
I got 25.
25.
Social pressure.
He says, I really can't give this to you, but if you are in Hamel Hall and he hands you a stone, a little blue stone.
What's this, a rock?
Yes, a magic rock.
Oh!
If you go to Hamel Hall, we're currently not authorized to do our own investigating, but if you were there as non-members of the Rising Suns, you might be able to do a little bit of work that we potentially couldn't.
Right, so you want to send us in to do your work, but you're not going to tell us any information about it, no contexts.
We don't have any information.
You've got some notes on your map there. How about you share those? Just even in good
So
faith.
it's basically like vampire with a
Oh, okay.
with a question.
Right. Oh,
Um,
I see.
He's like, you get a good feeling this guy is green as hell.
fresh.
Yeah.
When he shows me that, I'll clap him on the shoulder and be like, okay, I see what you're saying. All
Yeah.
right.
It's like a couple of little things of like what he's heard on the road.
And so this is a sending stone, is that it?
Yeah.
Alright.
You can contact me directly.
Direct.
Please don't mention this to anybody, even my partner. I really could get in quite a bit of trouble. People who haven't been cleared with our clerics really aren't allowed to do this work.
So, just for the safety of my friends, this clearing, does it involve any kind of special rituals or preparations that would make you a little more capable than we might be without it?
Yes. Along with the weaponry, they can place blessings upon you to help defend you from vampiric influence.
I see. Right. Right.
Does your order have a headquarters?
Not one single one. It's another thing worth noting that none of you have like heard of the Rising Sun.
Mm-hmm.
Like this isn't something that like if you had found vampires somewhere, none of you would have known to
Report them.
It doesn't seem like they're a very well-known organization, at least where all of you are from, which is pretty broad.
Yeah.
The middle of
very bright
nowhere.
in the desert.
Sorry.
Then it's very bright in the desert.
Yeah, it's a very terrible vampire place. You know there is one in Mox the Rain. He says back in my homeland, Bastille. That's where I was recruited and trained.
Oh,
So-
I've been there, but I never stumbled across any headquarters or signage for an order such as yourself.
Well, for safety's sake, we don't stay completely out in the public.
Oh, a sort of a secret society.
Yeah, in a way, it is a fairly secret
So
society.
you didn't hear anything about this vampire because nobody knew to come to you.
Yeah.
Very practical. Very, very practical.
Well, listen, I didn't make the organization, okay? I
Of course.
just joined.
We're just joshing.
I'm just grinding your gears. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna like slap him on the shoulder.
He flinches when you like come close to him, and he's like, "Oh, okay."
So what?
Uh,
By the way, if I speak into this stone, who hears it?
just me.
Star's gonna like bring the stone up to his mouth and be like, "Hello."
And he pulls out another one and goes, "Hello, this right here. This is what it is." Goes to this.
Ah, okay. And then without even looking, he's just gonna hold the stone over to Vaelin and like drop it.
Okay, yes. I like fumblingly catch it.
Okay. And he says again that I could, if you were able to find out some information in Hamel Hall. It's really some of my own digging that I've done to get the information that I have. It's not yet sanctioned by the Suns, but if you did a bit more work and we could get some more confirmation, then I might be able to get you audiences with the clerics in the future.
Well, if we end up heading in that direction, I'm sure we'll keep our eyes open.
Thank you. Now I'm going to go check over the lair.
You mind if I join?
Yeah, no problem. Actually, you could show me where it is. That would be quite helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If
sure. Let's do it.
you guys don't mind, I'll tag along for this as well.
Okay.
Would anyone like to check out Diglin's house with me?
I'd love to.
Perhaps we may find some evidence of her plans there within.
Cara and Vaelin heading to Diglin's house. Star and Rowan going with Mazinor.
Well, I better go with Ben then to the library. And
Okay.
I was thinking I was going to go start loading up the cart and getting that ready for whatever
Okay,
we
yeah.
need. Which is over where like Yuri and everybody is as well. So
And nothing was unloaded. Yuri kept it ready to go. So Ben, or Hoom, you catch up with Lilana. Yeah. And she sort of hears you walking up behind her and turns back and says, hello.
Greetings. Shall we to the library?
Yes, it's where I was heading.
Perfect.
Very well. And you sort of come up to the library. It's ash, basically. There's some supports left. The rock walls have all sort of tumbled down to the sides. All the wood has burned away. And she starts, like, poking through. And you can see her, like, take out a couple of components. And she starts sort of a ritual around the area.
What magics do you cast?
Which is, well, this is to find out what type of vampires were in this area. And to make sure that it is, in fact, vampires that you destroyed.
Fascinating.
And she is kind of like doing that, and she looks back up at you and says, you are moon-touched, no?
In a manner of speaking, yes. The machinations of the moon do help with my particular magic. And my connection to this plane.
Well, you have connections to another plane?
Infinite. There are infinite planes in creation.
Well, that's not true.
Is it not?
I don't think there's infinite ones. I mean, I've heard of, like, 9.
Well, those are the ones stacked. And then sort of sideways.
Oh, you're one of those, hey?
There's an infinite, infinite realms among the planes, shall we say.
I see.
This will upset Denier, god of writing. And as he's looking at the library. I hope we do not feel his particular brand of justice.
And she laughs at that and says, yes, well, we always hope that we are not angering any gods in what we do, but sometimes it's unavoidable.
It was certainly worth stamping out this nest of vampires.
Yes, indeed. And I guess, Bree, you walk up at this point.
Azizia!
yes.
Greetings.
You are behaving. He is not bothering you too much, is he?
No, it is nice. We spent a long time on the road. Not much to talk to with Mazanor, so...
Yeah, like the owl, Hoom is poking into the ash and like rolling blackened bones over.
And she like finishes up this sort of circle that she's doing around it, and you see the ash in there, a bunch of it light up, sort of gold. And she says, well, it is undead. Excellent work. It seems you've done... Your count is higher than mine.
Well, we have to give this one to the cats.
Right. The felines burned. It is them who will feel Denier's wrath.
Are there, among everything there's a lot of like blackened bones and whatnot?
There are no bones.
No bones.
Yeah.
dang. Always looking for some good bones.
In the fire, they were destroyed.
But there's definitely like some glowing books that survived, right?
There's one glowing book. There's like the clouds part and sun comes down and shows one perfectly into... No, everything's destroyed.
We'll need that.
I feel my time here comes to an end. But first...
And Hoom pulls out a few, they were like finger knuckles that Ben collected from the dead adventurers in the vampire castle. And it takes out Star's dagger and is like, you see him scratching onto the bones. And he holds them up to you, Bree.
When you require guidance, tell the child to roll these bones.
Okay.
I return this avatar to you!
And I guess Bree catches Ben collapsing as she is used to doing.
And you see Lilana like looking at Ben. So Ben, you wake up, you see this green tiefling staring at you as you're in Bree's arms.
Hi, Bree.
Hello, Ben. Welcome back.
And Ben kind of puts his hand to his face, and there's feathers like all over his palm and like down his arm a little bit.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. Hi, I'm Benjamin.
Benjamin. You have a different name under both forms?
Yeah,
That is not normal.
I know.
You are moon-touched, but you lose everything?
I remember things sometimes, but like in dreams.
You will have nightmares about this one, little Benjamin.
Swell.
Oh, where's my puppy?
It is okay.
Okay. Is everyone okay?
Yes, we've all survived. It was very close for you.
I don't feel great.
Perhaps you need a rest.
Yeah, like a long one.
Yes, I think so. Let us find young pup.
Okay.
So you
Nice.
sort of head off as you're walking away. You can see this tiefling just kind of like watching you go, and like as you walk away, as you start to turn around, you see she takes out a little notebook.
Yeah, I think
That was off the record. No questions. Dave.
here, Dave.
Yeah, I know you're my lawyer.
Yeah, he's our press secretary.
Adventurers' rights. That was OOC. I would like to cite OOC. So you make your way through. You show Mazanor to the chamber, the vampire
Yeah,
chamber.
so like the whole time that we're walking up to the chamber, Star's gonna be like picking his brain about how to fight vampires.
Yeah, he doesn't really
So he's
fill
like-
you in on anything you don't already know. Like he's like, yeah, well, I mean, you really want to make sure you got running water handy. We all use some of these, and he has this little container that he takes out. You can see runes all around it.
What's in that?
Water. It produces water indefinitely. We can, if we have enough preparation, we can build up an area of water to release and sort of trap. If we find a layer like this.
Oh,
I'll kind of.
that's actually fascinating.
Yeah.
Where do you mind if I see?
Sure, yeah, and he like hands it over.
I'll nudge Star at this and be like, well, that would have been pretty handy in the desert now, wouldn't it?
Yeah, no kidding, eh? And like I like motion to open it. Yeah, well, I'm like looking at him and like motioning as if I could open it.
And he
You know,
says,
like-
yeah, knock yourself out.
Okay, I unplug it.
Yeah, so it starts firing this stream of water straight out of it. And it just starts like soaking the area in general. And he
Yeah,
kinda,
okay, yeah, I just immediately plug it back in.
Yeah, and he kind of says, yeah, they got me good when they first gave me that. They said you got to look right in the front of it. So I got soaked. But yeah, that's it. You can fill up a pretty decent area if you leave it open for long enough, and then usually we'll like build it behind a wall or something watertight, and then release that to let the water flow.
Wow, amazing.
That's pretty clever.
And
yeah.
I also like to know, how well do you know how to use that? And I kind of point at his sword.
Oh, this, and he like swings it out and like does this big flourish, which you can see is all show and no practice.
Yeah, so Star's just like, okay. How about after this, we have a little sparring match, eh?
And he like the smile just evaporates off of his face, and he's like, I would love that. That would be
Star.
yeah, we'll pencil
let's
that
call
in.
it the date.
Oh, Star, now you're just being a bully, Star.
No, it's one swordsman to another.
All right.
And he says, yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, I could teach you a thing or two, or
I
Vice
bet you
versa.
could.
Star laughs again at that. Like, I'm sure you could. Yeah, okay.
so he's gonna like look around that area. Is there anything different that you want to do while he's just sort of inspecting or are you gonna keep sort of picking his brain?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd just kind of be following close and just sort of like watching him, and like I've got kind of like a soft smile on my face as I like watch him go through the motions and like seeing sort of the rote learning at play and stuff like that, and just seeing, also keeping in mind the kinds of stuff that he'll go for and notice, and just sort of keep a mental log of it so that I can keep my eyes out for it as we travel too, like those same kind of signs that he's looking for.
Right. He's sort of just like making his way through, and as you're telling him the story, you can tell that he's amazed that like this was a full-blood vampire. He sort of says most of the time when we get calls, it's just a vampire's thrall out doing some. This is really, really peculiar behavior for a vampire to be so obvious and in your face.
Well, that would be
Looks
the
like
work.
they're just horny for getting caught.
Yeah, well, there were two others that were doing that. See, the two that were pretending to be vampires were kind of setting him up to, I guess, warn newcomers. And I'll look at Star for confirmation on this. They were just trying to keep people away from the town while he was in charge.
Well, they probably saved a lot of lives.
Oh, no doubt.
Will we jump over to Diglin's house?
Yeah, sure.
Yep. So you make your way up Corpse Avenue onto Dead Street.
Look for 666.
Yeah, it's really easy to find the boulevard. Like most of the shops are on the It's like if you come into Bladovia, you have to go to the boulevard first.
Yeah.
So you make your way to the corner of Corpse Avenue and Dead Street, and pretty easy to spot right away. They said there would be some damage. There's like a shattered window. You see the 666 on the and the.
Yeah, it can't be that long of a street though, right? So it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 6.
Yeah. Clearly a fun joke. It's actually one like iron 6, and then someone has carved a 6 on either side with a knife. They thought it was a funny thing.
They would be
and then
cute.
someone else carved a 9 after the last 6. So at this point,
Nice.
being
Being
funny.
funny.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, so you can see like the furniture's all over the place. There's like a big pool of blood on the floor. Ooh. Yeah, everything's been sort of like tipped over, like there was a big fight in here. You see like scratch marks and like sword marks and like a shattered sideways bookcase.
This is pretty regular for houses in Bladovia that we've walked by. Like most houses, when you look in, look like this.
No, most houses are like utilitarian furniture, kind of in a mess, but just general disrepair. Like they're not taken care of, but not actively destroyed.
Start a ritual to cast Detect Magic, if I could.
Yep.
I just like to poke around, see if I can find any writing.
Make an investigation check.
That is a 16.
16? Okay. You don't find any writing. You do, while you're looking around, you can see that there are runes carved in the floor around where the like destroyed bed has been flipped around. It looks like there was like a ritual performed around that. You also find around the door some runes have been carved in. This house has been augmented in certain ways in areas around all the entrances. The doors, windows, and around the bed have been magic rituals have been performed there. And Vaelin, when your detect magic goes off, I think you get a bit of a shimmer on those runes. They're long destroyed,
Okay.
and no longer active. But you do get a little bit of shimmer off of that.
Okay. And then I think I'd like to also try to do some sort of investigation to, see if this is just one creature was living here and then there was a fight, or was there, just like how many people were involved in these, like, in this ruckus.
In this ruckus? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, do an investigation.
Okay, that's a 23.
23? So when you're looking around the room, you see, like, when you flip over a chair, you see a dagger, like, dug into the back of it. And sticking off of that dagger, you can see a piece of cloak that looks like it was that same gray and red color that the guards were wearing.
Right.
I think right on the doorway, you see big claw marks that sort of look like they were sword marks, but you can tell this is probably the claws of, like, a yeti. So it seems like a crew of people came through here and met something terrifying, and that there was like quite a large battle in here. You also, I think the blood on the floor you can attribute to the yeti. In the general print that it's in on the ground, it looks like a yeti was killed
here
in this corner.
It's a chalk outline.
Yeah, you see the chalk outline. It just didn't look like much from afar. But you take a step back.
Smaller chalk outlines inside it.
Yeah.
Where it fell. On top.
Looks like quite the altercation.
It does.
No evidence of Diglin directly. Are we anywhere near a bedroom or
it's all kind of one room.
One room
like there's
house.
a bed in here. Yeah, there's a central cooking fire, and then just some.
Yeah, I just start opening drawers, cupboards, just any sort of desk around.
Yeah, this is like it's a pretty basic like long-term stay bachelor situation. Couple of sets of cutlery, but not enough for like a crowd. With the 23 investigation, I think under the windowsill, you find that it's been sort of like hollowed out, and when you reach up in under, you pull out like a stake and a silver dagger.
Flipping that mattress, cutting it open with daggers.
Yeah. You don't really find anything else in here.
Look gold.
You can tell, like, it does kind of look like it's been, for the amount of destruction that was done inside of here, it looks like it was also picked
Searched,
over.
yeah.
Like, you find a couple of those hidey holes that are empty.
Well, I'm not sure there's much sign of Diglin remaining.
It looks like it's been pretty thoroughly turned over.
So, over in the castle, I think he finishes up his investigation. You sort of show him the room of contraband and dead adventurers. He almost throws up. So you, I guess, everybody makes their way back towards the inn?
Yeah, if there's a moment where Mazanor and myself kind of fall behind Star a little bit, maybe, or get a little ahead of Star.
Well, if you want some private time, I was going to be like, 1 second, I'm going to go find another dagger. I think Ben still has mine.
And I'll kind of mosey over to Mazanor and I'll be like, you been doing this long?
No.
Yeah. Listen, if you don't mind, I've got a little bit of advice.
Yeah?
It's okay to doubt, Mazanor. It's all right to have some doubts, because doubts leads to questions, after all, and questions lead to learning and discovery, and that makes you better, doesn't it? It makes you a better vampire hunter or a better person.
Yeah, I mean, it's just when someone calls us and we show up, they want to have faith in us.
Mm-hmm. And that's okay, because I think faith and doubt are two different things, and I think they can work together. I think what you need to worry about is when those questions stop. I think your enemy in all of this would be conviction, maybe. Conviction that your way is always going to be the right way. I think maybe your doubt is what separates you from these vampires. And that's something you should keep in mind.
Do you think confidence is the real vampire?
No, not confidence. Confidence is good. Conviction. I think if you don't leave room for questions.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I do a fair bit of questioning. It's mostly self-oriented.
I'll clap him on the shoulder and be like, "That's okay.
Okay.
You can believe in yourself and still question."
Thank you. I will continue to question my abilities.
Sure. All right. Okay.
You sort of make your way back to the tavern, and inside you see everybody like just covered in soot. A bunch of exhausted townsfolk like
Soot and
lying on the
juice.
ground. Yeah, they're all sticky.
They got all sticky in the ash stuck to them.
You see Light and Sky actually like using some of the leftover water in the trough to like get some of the juice off of people. Just like, God, you are useless.
They throw water on someone and they fall down.
Yeah. And they're like, would you go to bed? And they're like, it's time for our alone walks. And he's like, no, you don't have to do that anymore. You don't see? Go to bed.
I think as we like step into the inn, I would be saying to Cara, so I don't imagine you've seen much like this back in Highwarden.
I've never run into a vampire before. It was little scarier than I was imagining.
It certainly kept us on our toes.
I can't imagine if it hadn't been daytime. That vampire was very fast.
we were certainly lucky today, weren't we? But I'm curious what life was like for you back home. How long ago did you set out on the road?
It's been 6 months or so, maybe closer to a year. I have a big family. I'm not the best at changing forms.
Oh.
I'm a little slow. And
come from a whole family of druids.
Yes. Yeah, my great aunt is the matriarch, and she's very demanding. And I needed to get away for a little bit.
Oh, no, I can understand needing to distance oneself from one's family.
Yes. And it's been good. Still not all that fast, but maybe I'll learn some different things.
Not that weasel certainly worked out in our favor.
Yes. My cousin's much better than me.
One shouldn't compare oneself to others too much. It can often leave one wanting.
Mm-hmm.
Ben.
Cara! Vaelin! Ben runs up and hugs you guys.
Hi, Ben.
Good work out there.
Bree said it was pretty bad.
Oh, right. You don't remember.
Well, we were very successful, actually. Although probably we shouldn't go after any vampires anytime soon.
Oh, nonsense. I think we're perfectly capable.
I don't even need to describe Bree's reaction to this.
I escaped perfectly unscathed.
think we were very lucky, and our preparation was really helpful. I can't imagine doing it without the explosives and the river and the tip-offs and the pure stupidity of the vampire.
Wow. Okay. Holy shit. Just put me on blast.
Not you.
Fucking
not
right
you.
here.
You're not you, man. Not
I'm
you.
right here.
You're playing a great
I'm
character.
right here.
Come on! Oh no! They've seen me again.
Again. It's just a little bat like, hey, man.
Oh shit!
That red breeze jaw. But where's Bido? I asked Bido to watch my puppy.
I think he was trapping out the caravan.
Oh no!
Smash cut
Dead puppy.
So you run over to the caravan. You see, there are a bunch of like stakes on like long sort of like branches that have been lashed down to the side, and you can hear them like creaking against the ropes. And you see like a little 2x4 sticking out over the top with a rope and then a thermometer just sort of like swinging in the breeze. And inside you hear like a and then like
No, you can't. No, you can't. That's mine.
Bido.
you see like the head pop out, and he's like,
Touch the thermometer.
Bido.
Touch it.
Fine. And I touch the thermometer.
and he like waits a second.
He's like, keep hold. Put it like in your mouth.
Where's it been?
It's not. What do you mean?
And Ben. Is it? Are you happy?
You're good. You're good.
Ben is crawling up and climbing into the back of the, just pushing Bido out of the way.
And you see, your puppy sort of sitting there, like chewing on Bido's like badger furs.
I snatch her up and I'm gonna jump back out. I thought of a name for her, Bree. I'm gonna call her. And then Ben holds it up and looks at it. I'm gonna call you Garlic.
It's very tasty name.
Everybody else, touch the thermometer.
I'm cold-blooded.
And make a deck save.
Okay.
Hello, it's Mike Fardy, your Dungeon Mom. Thanks for listening to episode 29 of Wonders and Blunders. And this is just a quick reminder, as usual, if you haven't given us a rating yet, consider giving us a rating. It's a great way for us to get noticed. And please continue to send along your gifts of inspiration. To do that, just contact @WonderandBlunder on whatever social media you're using and send us your favorite moment from the show and tell us which character you'd like to give inspiration to. It gives them advantage on any role they want to use it on. I'm supposed to be giving it to them, but I'm shirking that responsibility to you. No, not shirking. It's delegation. The sign of a confident leader. Delegation. I'm confident. Anyway, thank you. We love you very much. Keep being the best, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye.